All right, in this lesson we're going to look at factorising of a different sort. We're looking at factorising something called a trinomial, and a trinomial is something that has three terms. All right, and we're specifically looking at quadratic trinomials, which have a highest power of x of 2. So quadratic comes from the old Latin of quadratum, which means 2, and shouldn't be confused with 4. All right, I know that sounds like it should be the right one, but it's not. Okay, so quadratic is a highest power of 2, and it has 3 terms. So an example of a quadratic trinomial might be something like this. 1, 2, 3 terms. You can see that the first term has x squared, the second term has just x, and the constant has no x's. It could also look like this. It could look like this. It could also be rearranged. You might see something like 4 take away x squared plus 5x. All that matters is that it has 3 terms and the highest power on any of the terms is a 2. All right, so this indicates it's a quadratic, and the 3 terms indicates the trinomial. Now we're looking at factorising them, which is how we're going to go from this form into a form that has 2 brackets. Now, if you've forgotten, the reason we would do that is because the factorised form shows us the x-intercepts. Shows x-intercepts, which is what we need to sketch a quadratic. All right, so pretty simply, I'm going to explain this in terms of factorising, but when we get to the end, I'll show it to you in terms of a different process. So let's start by just taking one that I know we can factorise nicely. So it might be plus 3x minus 4, which is a slight change on the one we use at the top over here. So here's the process. You're going to need to find factors of minus 4. So those factors are 2 numbers that multiply to make minus 4. So it could be minus 4 times 1. It could be 4 times minus 1. It could be 2 times minus 2, and that one's the same the other way around. I'll write it down anyway, minus 2 times 2. Those are the only options. All right, these are all factors of minus 4. What you need to look for now is one of those pairs which adds together to make positive 3. So starting from the bottom, minus 2 plus 2 is 0. 2 plus minus 2 is 0. 4 plus minus 1 is 3, which, that one fits what we needed it to. And just to double check, minus 4 plus 1 equals minus 3. So you can see that that second last one there is the only one that adds together to make positive 3. So this shows us the 2 factors, 4 and minus 1, that we'll need. Now what we're going to do is we're going to draw 2 sets of brackets like so. We'll put the factors in on the right hand side. We'll put x's in on the left hand side, and where there's a gap, such as here, we just put a plus sign. Because that minus 1 already has a minus in front of it, we don't need to put a plus sign because we know that x plus minus 1 is the same as writing x take away 1. Now, that is the factorised form of this trinomial. Notice a few things. Notice that it has 2 brackets. Notice that in each bracket there is an x. In each bracket there is also a constant. Now you might have seen these types of brackets before when you did expanding. And this is the thing I'm going to show you, the other process. So you might remember that we can create one of these by expanding 2 sets of brackets. So remember you're multiplying, so you go x times x, which is x squared, which is what we needed. You also multiply x times 4, which is 4x. You then multiply minus 1 times x, which is minus 1x, and you multiply minus 1 by positive 4, which is minus 4. And you can see there that these 2 terms in the middle are like terms, and we can combine them. So x squared plus 3x minus 4 is what I began with. And the reason I expanded out these 2 sets of brackets here is to show you that whatever you end with should always be the same as what you started with while you were factorising. All right, so to go through the steps again, you need 1, factors of the constant, which in this case was minus 4. 2, you need to find 2 of those factors which add to make coefficient of x, which in this case was 3. So I'll write the example here. This one was minus 4. This one was 3. All right. So those are the 2 things you need to remember. The third step is to write them in 2 sets of brackets. All right. So 3 things to do. We'll try another example. So this example might be x squared take 4x plus 4. Okay, so we're looking for factors of 4 that add to make minus 4. So factors that multiply to make positive 4, but add to make negative 4. All right, so list the factors of 4 again. We could have 4 and 1. We could have 1 and 4. We could have 2 times 2. Those are all factors of positive 4. Keeping in mind that because it's positive, we could also have minus 4 times minus 1, and the other way around, minus 1 times minus 4, or minus 2 times minus 2, because 2 negatives make a positive as well. So then let's go through the list and try and identify the pair of factors which adds to make minus 4. Hopefully you've seen it right off the bat, but I will go slowly through. 4 plus 1, that equals 5. That's not the right pair. 1 plus 4, also 5, not the right pair. 2 plus 2 equals positive 4. We needed negative 4, so that was close but no cigar. Minus 4 plus minus 1 is minus 5. Again, minus 1 plus minus 4 is minus 5. So therefore, minus 2 plus minus 2 is minus 4, and that is the magic number. So this pair of factors are the correct pair. And the last step is to draw our 2 sets of brackets and plug in the numbers on the right hand side, the x's on the left hand side. You can see that these 2 sets of brackets are the same. So if you want to, you could also write it like that. The square means that I have 2 sets of the same bracket. We'll do one more example and then I'm going to get you to practice this on your own. All right, so remember the 3 steps. We want factors of the constant which add to make the coefficient of x. All right, so this example we might do x squared. All right, final example here before I let you have a go is x squared plus x minus 20. So again, we need factors of the constant, which is minus 20. So we'll start by listing factors of the constant. It's minus 20, so 1 needs to be a negative. That could be the, oh, no, I went right, that's the same one. It could be minus 20 and 1. It could be 10 and minus 2. It could be minus 10 and 2. It could be 5 and minus 4, or it could be minus 5 and positive 4. All right, so now our goal is to work out which of those pairs will add together to make the coefficient of x, which in this case, it's not written there, but we know that that always means a 1. So which of these pairs has a difference of 1? So I can see that 20 plus minus 1 is going to be 19. Minus 20 plus 1 is going to be minus 19. 10 plus minus 2 is 8. Minus 10 plus 2 is minus 8. 5 plus minus 4 is 1. And minus 5 plus 4 is minus 1. So you can see only one pair matches the criteria. All right, so these are the 2 factors we're going to need. We're going to draw our 2 sets of brackets. We're going to plug the numbers into the right-hand sides. It doesn't matter which number goes in which bracket. And the x's into the left-hand sides. If there's a gap here, like in the right-hand bracket, we put a plus. And you can see there that those are the 2 factors. If we wanted to double-check our answer, we would expand out the brackets. So x times x is x squared. x times 5 is 5x, minus 4 times x is minus 4x, and minus 4 times 5 is minus 20. Combine the two middle terms, you can see that that transforms into an x, and at the start was x squared plus. All right, so this is what we began with, which means that our work has been done correctly. These are the two factors of, or these are the factors of this trinomial. All right, again, just to remind you, these brackets show us the x-intercepts, which is the whole reason we are factorising this in the first place.